Hello and welcome to the Abakuas Whitepaper Cafe. We understand that time is limited, so we will read the white papers for you. Listen while you drive, listen while you lounge, listen while you clean. I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice, but I do want to provide you with ease of information in order to make the best financial decisions you can. This crypto was chosen at random or at the request of a listener. Augur. Page 8. Integrity of the forking protocol. Maximum benefit to an attacker. An attacker who successfully attacks the oracle would cause a non-finalized Augur market to migrate to a false universe. If the attacker controls the majority of REP in the false universe, the attacker can then force all non-finalized markets to resolve however she wants. In the most extreme case, she would also be able to capture all funds escrowed in all of those markets. Definition 1. We define and denote by I subscript A, Augur's native open interest as the value of the sum of all funds escrowed in unfinalized Augur markets. Definition 2. We define a parasitic market as any market that does not pay reporting fees to Augur, but does resolve in accordance with the resolution of a native Augur market. Definition 3. We define and denote I subscript P, the parasitic open interest, as the value of the sum of all funds escrowed in all parasitic markets that resolve in accordance to non-finalized native Augur markets. In the most extreme case, an attacker would be able to capture all funds in all parasitic markets which resolve in accordance to non-finalized native Augur markets. Observation 1. The maximum gross benefit to an attacker who successfully attacks the oracle is I subscript A plus I subscript P. Integrity of the forking protocol. Parasitic open interest is unknowable. Augur can accurately and effectively measure I subscript A. However, I subscript P cannot be known in general, as there may exist arbitrarily many offline parasitic markets, each with arbitrarily large open interest. Since the maximum possible benefit to an attacker includes the unknowable quantity I subscript P, one can never be objectively certain that the oracle is secure against economically rational attackers. However, if we are willing to assert that I subscript P is reasonably bounded in practice, then we can define conditions under which we may assert that the oracle is secure. Integrity of the forking protocol. Minimum cost of a successful attack. Next, consider the cost of attacking the oracle. Let P denote the price of REP. Let E denote 1 ATOREP. Let M denote the total amount of REP in existence, the money supply of REP. Let S denote the proportion of M that will be migrated to the true universe during the forking period of a fork. Thus, the product SM represents the absolute amount of REP migrated to the true universe during the forking period of a fork, and the product PM is the market cap of REP. Let P subscript F denote the price of REP migrated to a false universe of the attacker's choosing. Note that if P is less than or equal to P subscript F, then the oracle would not be secure against economically rational attackers, because it would be at least as profitable to migrate REP to the false universe as it would be to migrate at all. Integrity of the forking protocol. Integrity. Assumption 1. Reporters that are not attackers will never migrate REP to a false universe during a fork. By design, a successful attack on the oracle requires more REP to be migrated to some false universe than to the true universe during the forking period of a fork. By assumption, only the attacker will migrate REP to a false universe. The amount of REP migrated to the true universe during the forking period is denoted by SM. Thus, for an attacker to be successful, they must migrate at least SM plus E REP. For simplicity, we will ignore the negligible E and say that a successful attack requires migrating at least SM REP, which has a value of SMP before the migration, to some false universe. If an attacker migrates SM REP during the forking period of a fork, they will receive SM REP on the child universe to which they migrate. If the attacker migrates to a false universe, then the value of the coins becomes SMP subscript F. Thus, the minimum cost of the attack is P minus P subscript F times SM. Observation 2. The minimum amount of REP a successful attacker must migrate to a false universe during a fork is SM, which costs the attacker P minus P subscript F times SM. Note that if S is greater than 1/2, then an attack is impossible because there does not exist enough REP outside of the true universe for any false universe to become the winning universe. Pitted against economically rational attackers, the oracle will resolve to outcomes that correspond to objective reality if the maximum benefit to an attacker is less than the minimal cost of attack. By observation 1 and 2, we can see that this occurs when S is greater than half, or I subscript A plus I subscript P is greater than P minus P subscript F times SM. This gives us our formal definition of integrity. This has been Augur white paper page number 8. Please click the next video to continue the white paper. Thank you for listening. Please leave us a like. If you are new here, click subscribe and share with a friend. Until next time, gain knowledge and take action. Goodbye.